Hi there and welcome to another channel video. Today I'm going to show you everything about the Miniware MHP50 pocket size hot plate along with their SA80 soldering station adapter. Miniware has built a solid reputation for compact high-performance tools, and I'm genuinely curious to see how this combo performs, especially since it promises to bring pro-level soldering capabilities in a super small form factor. This set is getting some buzz, but the real question is, does it actually deliver? Stick around because I'm going to put it at work and test everything. Now, for full disclosure, the MHP50 and the SA80 were sent to me directly by Miniware for this review, free of charge. However, there was no payment involved and no conditions were placed on what I can or can't say. So everything you will hear in this video is 100% my opinion. Miniware will be watching this video at the same time as you when it goes live on YouTube. Also, I want to take a moment to thank the team at Miniware for their collaboration and of course a big shout out to you, my viewer. Your help and sponsorship whenever you use the affiliate links you see on the screen or down in the description is what keeps this channel going. Just by using these links to access AliExpress or Amazon whenever you need to do a purchase, you will be sponsoring the channel at no extra cost. So from my part, my sincere thank you. Alright, enough talking, let's dive in and take a closer look at the key features of the MH50 and the SA80 soldering iron adapter. This video is brought to you by PCBWay, one-stop shop for PCB prototyping and manufacturing. They are celebrating 11 years of supporting makers and engineers worldwide, and to mark the occasion, they are running huge anniversary promotions you don't want to miss. And yes, their famous deal is still going strong. 2-layer PCBs up to 100 by 100 millimeters, just $5 for 10 pieces. With fast production, great quality, and a global maker community, PCBWay continues to be the go-to choice for hobbyists and pros alike. Check the link in the description to join the celebration. Well, today we have not one but two products to open, but I will start with the MHP50, the mini hot plate preheater. It comes in this very nice retail box. So, okay, let's open and see what it's delivered inside. Okay. It has this user manual. It's a big manual. I don't know how many languages it has. Let's check. So, probably Chinese, English catalog, Dutch, and Russian. So, for language, I think, something like that. Okay, what else? We have this silicone, very nice and high quality cable. This is really silicone. You can see that it's very flexible and the touch also. And finally, we have here the MHP50. Okay, I will show you more in the first impressions. Let's now open the rest. That it is the SA80, also delivered in this nice retail box, but this one is an adapter for the soldering station, so we can have a soldering iron also in here. So let's take this. First of all, we have this holder, a very nice design. I don't know if you can see, but it has some engravings here. Okay, and yeah, let's take this out. This is the adapter itself, and it has this box or something like where everything is packed. Okay, we have everything in here. Let's take the box out of the way. And okay, in terms of instructions, we just have this small card. in English also. We have here the adapter. Well, before the first impressions, let me show you the MHP50. This was one of the first reviews I made, if not the first, of Miniware products. I was totally blown away by the quality of this small device. The technology is very familiar. You have this thing that gets out, and you can change the top also in this device. Sometimes it takes a bit to align, and I love this for the quality. It is really premium quality for such a small device. Even has this protective cover for the top. But what I want to mention is when I reviewed this, I told them, look, this is a very nice product, but it will be also great if you have just a little bigger one. And at that time they answered me they already thought about it, but the problem was to stabilize the heat on a bigger area and also to have it evenly dispersed through the whole plate. So it passes like 2 years after we spoke about it, and they created this product. This is the MHP50, and it is a very nice product, at least on the looks, and if it has the same quality of the previous one, I'm sure that will be nice. We have two tops, the two plates available. This one that is equivalent to the MHP30, that is a ceramic coating, and you have one that is the silver, that is only aluminum. I chose this one because I already knew, and it is really nice surface for working. You have still this technology that you can take out. You can see that we have now active cooling. I don't remember if we had in the previous one, but I don't think so. But now we have active cooling on the system, and it seems much easier to put it back in here. Okay. Some grids for heat dissipation on the sides, and on the bottom we have just this anti-slippery fit, okay, this padding, and on the back we have a USB Type-C input for power or a DC barrel, and they alert you that you should only use one of the two. So you can input from 19 to 24 volts in the DC barrel or PD 20 volts. Okay. In the front we have now a bigger screen, much bigger screen, basically 2 times or 3 times bigger, and we have 2 buttons on the front of the device. This was a great improvement. Well, in the small one, maybe it makes a little sense to have the buttons on the back because we were holding the product like this. It was very small, so it is more intuitive to have it in the back, I think. But in this product, I think it is a very nice improvement to have it here on the front. And yeah, in terms of the heat plate, that's it. We have also now this soldering iron that in conjunction with the heat plate or the base, if you connect here the adapter, let's see if I can do it on first time. Yeah, like this. It becomes a soldering station, a very small soldering station. So the soldering tip that I have here is from the TS80 soldering iron. If you have the TS80 soldering iron, those are the tips that you have there. But this adapter, it's called SA80, as you can see, because it's from it uses the TS80 soldering tips. But you have also the SA115, the SA210 and the SA245. So you have 4 different adapters for different soldering irons, and that is amazing. I wish they have sent to me the 210 or 245 because I have a lot of tips from those ones, but probably I will buy myself the adapter for those. So yeah, that's really cool. The only thing that I'm missing is a protector for this when we are not using it. As you can see, this one is on the table, and probably when we are working, we just put it like this, and sooner or later maybe this will bend a bit. It should have some kind of protector that we can put here and protect the connectors. But again, let's put this in here, and yeah, in terms of the soldering iron, that's it. We have this very nice, exquisite holder, very nice, and they sent also some rubber feet to mount in here. And I didn't mention on the unboxing, but we have also this cable that you can connect here in the adapter to give the ground protection or the earth protection to the system. And you can connect this to a system where you have the earth or the ground connector. Okay, it has this little rubber or silicone cap. Let's see if I can put it back again. Okay, it's on. And yeah, that's it. Let's see how this works. Okay, so here it is, the unit already working. We have the green line with this fade in, fade out, showing that we are in standby. We have button A and button B. Button A is to select and to use the cursor left or up. Button B will help you to exit menus and move right or down. So let's start by seeing the options that we have in this main menu. And I have the color a bit dark so you can see better what is going on this small screen. And for that, let's move to the right. With the first option is the reflow with the heat curve. And then we have the normal option that is heat and menu. And finally, we have info. I will start with this one. To enter this menu, just press button A for a while. Okay. And we have several information in the screen, like the temperature, the module, and the software version 2.01 and HV 1.00. HV, I don't know if it is the hardware version, I believe so. MCU temperature, also voltage 20 volts, and fan speed, it's not running right now. So you have 3 screens of information. And to leave this option, just press button B for a while. Let's go to the left using button A, and we have menu. And to enter the menu, let's press button A again. Okay, and we have a few options. I don't know if you are able to see, but this is one of 15 options. If you don't do anything for a while, you will go back as you saw. Okay, let's press again. So we have the settings for temperature 1, temperature 2, and temperature 3 presets. Okay, using button B to go down. We have also the heating over time. Right now is with 20 minutes, but you can define other time. And if this is working for 20 minutes, it will give you a message that the time is over, and then it will disconnect. This can be turned off if you want, or set another time. Okay, moving on. And we have the standby time. We don't have a power button. We just set here the time that you want to shut down. And after this time, it will automatically shut the system down. Also, you have the backlight. Right now it's at 6. The tick angle, okay, I will show you that's working, but if you put this in an angle that is not the normal, and after 5 seconds these always get out, so it's a bit annoying while trying to show you. You can define the angle that will stop the heating process if it detects that is in that angle, probably because it's falling or something like that. Also, we have the volume, and I will change the volume a bit. Okay. We have 5 positions. I will leave on the second one. Just wait a bit and it's set. Okay, so what else? We have the temperature unit. Probably this can be set Celsius, Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's it. Celsius or Fahrenheit. Let's pass this one. And you have also the PD power max and DC power max. So this is the range of the max power that you can use. In PD it can go from 36 to 65 watts and DC from 36 to 150 watts. So this can have, it can be powered by DC up to 150 watts. Okay, so let me move on. We have also the temperature calibration. Okay, the reflow. Let's enter the reflow. On the reflow, you see that you have several divisions in the curve, and you can set, let's go again, you can set the time for each of these parts. Okay, and to leave this, press B for a while. Also, let's go down. We have language. In terms of language, we have English, Chinese, Deutsch, and Russian. I think that's it. Okay, let's leave it in English. And the last option is restore. Okay, and in terms of the menu and the options that you have, that's it. If you, for example, select temperature, you can use left or right to set the temperature. Leave it for a bit and it will be set. Okay, that's it. If you want to leave early the menu, just press the B button for a while, and basically that's it. So we have the second menu, the heat, the normal default menu, and the reflow is the first. On the reflow, we will have several times according to the depth definition that we just saw. On heat, let's put the heat, it starts immediately. Let me just change the temperature. I don't want this very hot. Okay, I will take it to the minimum, like 50 degrees will be okay. So I don't want to burn myself by error. And what do we have on the screen? So we have the voltage. Right now it's at 20 volts. It's arrived already at 50 degrees. This symbol means that the temperature is stable, and we are running already for 1 minute and 10 seconds. And this symbol can be with arrows up or arrows down. For example, if I do a quick option in here, you can see the power going up, and also over these Celsius degrees you can see 2 arrows saying the temperature is going up. Now if I press again, and this is going to 220, I don't want that. Let's go back again to 50 degrees. Okay, and I will be able to show you 50 degrees. Here it is. Okay, and now these arrows, as you saw, are now pointing down, saying the temperature is going down. In here we can see that we have T1 for the temperature preset 1, the T2 and T3. You just use these ones to change it. Okay, and if you want to change the temperature of one of the presets, but it will not be stored, so it's only while you are in here and don't change the temperature, you will press button A for a bit and you are able to change it. I don't know if you are noticing, but this light was green. Right now it's on a bluish tone, and it will be red when it reaches the 200 degrees more or less. In terms of the screen, that's it. Let's go out, and to leave this screen, just press button B for a while and you are back to the main screen. Please notice that you have a warning sign here saying that the hot plate is hot. You may burn yourself. And let's go to reflow. And in reflow, okay. And in reflow, if you press start, it says it's in over temperature, because reflow starts with a 25 degrees temperature and go up. And right now, since the heat plate is over that temperature, it will not allow you to start the temperature. You can see this, it gives an error and this light is blinking. Well, in terms of operation of the hot plate, that's it. I will now connect, after this is cold, we'll connect the soldering iron and let's see what option. For testing the heat plate, I have these small circuits that came from these downlights, these spotlights that is to be mounted on the drywall in the ceiling. And well, those kind of failed and I want to repurpose the LED. So I'm going to put this heating up. Right now is heating up to, let's see, 220 degrees. The heat plate takes a bit more time to heat up than the soldering iron, but it's getting there. We are consuming 4.6 amps and 92 watts right now from the power supply. Okay, it took 2 minutes and 40 seconds to get here. Let's put this circuit on the top and let's see how much time we get to have this. It was quite fast. It's already able to take the devices off. Okay. I think I will not even need such a temperature. Okay, so everything is repurposed. And I think that's it. We can take this out also. And it was quite fast. So for the reflow function part, I have here this old SMD test board. It is all screwed up here in the soldering. It was one of my first boards for testing. I used to review one of the heat plates that I review here in the channel. But I will use it now to demonstrate the reflow function. The reflow function is using the preset definitions. We can set those in here as I shown in the operation part. So you come here to reflow. Okay. And you can set the rise time, the rise temperature, the rise time, the keep temperature, all of that. As you can see, you have 3 parts in this process and you can set all of them. I will use the default values and without further ado, let's start the reflow. For that, you just select reflow and press for a while the reflow. As you can see, it started immediately with this graph and it will progress during the time. You have the time, you have the temperature, and you will see the graph progressing in here. Okay, this will take a while, so I will fast forward this. As you can see, we just reached the phase A. It took around 1 minute and 40 seconds and 150 degrees. So right now we are passing to phase 2. We can see already the flux bubbling, so this should be ready almost to work. We have the phase 2 already in place, so right now we are on the heating part for desoldering. Okay, we reached the 200 degrees. Right now we should be able to desolder this, or not yet. Let's see. Well, it's not yet ready, but we should be already almost there. Let's give him the chance for heating up a bit, and here it is. We can take out and correct the soldering on this small one. Okay. So now it's beeped again and we reached phase 3. So we reached the third phase. As you can see now, the temperature is going in a stable 230 degrees. That is the time to take your components off the board and align them or soldering them or whatever. But since this is a very bad PCB and it was already used previously in bad conditions, well, we don't have here the best result, but doesn't matter. After a while, I think 2 minutes of staying in this temperature, it will start cooling down, so it gets the just beeped, so it started to cool down. As you can see, the temperature now is lowering and it will go down until it is on a lower temperature, so it will not harm the PCB while doing this operation. Everything in here is configurable in the menu, as I showed you in the beginning of this. But yeah, that's it. Now I will wait for this to cool down. So on the screen you have already the image of the hot plate plus my thermal camera. This is the Guide ER E2 Plus. And we can see that the plate is totally cool. You can see my finger there, and it is around 20 degrees. What I will do is power this on and take it to 100, 200 and 300 degrees to check the accuracy of the temperature. It might have a small difference since this surface reflects a bit, but it will probably be alright. So let's start by powering this up. It is going to 220 degrees, but I will change the temperature to 100 degrees. Well, this beep, it's a bit annoying, but since I didn't disable it before, now we have to live with it. Okay, 100 degrees. Let's see what we have. The plate is already heating up. Let me put it here. One thing that we can see is that the temperature is very distributed across the hot plate. You can see that, yeah. So let's see how much time it takes to get there. Well, in terms of the hot plate thermal camera, is already saying that we are at 100 degrees. Oh, okay, I was trying to show you on the camera the temperature. Since we are on an angle, filming on an angle, it seems that the temperature is not covering all the area, but on my previous tests I was able to see that it's yeah, near that. Okay, so we have on the display 105 degrees and on the camera we have 104 degrees Celsius. So yeah, I think it is more or less accurate, only a few degrees difference, but nothing special. Let's continue. I will take this now to 200 degrees. Okay, the beeping again, but we are almost there. Okay, so we have this at 200 degrees. Let me see if I can show you. No, I can't. Yeah. This covers all the image. Okay. I have to adjust a bit. Nice. Okay, so we are on the thermal camera with 150, more or less, 130 something in the display. But it takes a bit of time to get there in the display. I've tested this also previously with the infrared MHP2 Pro, and it was quite accurate, but also the display takes a little more time to get to the temperature that the plate is. So right now we are with 122, 23, almost there in terms of the hot, of the thermal camera. Okay, let's bring this closer. Yeah, like this. So the thermal camera says that we are with 214 degrees, and the display is still getting there. So 100, 200 degrees. I suppose that now it will adapt and lower a bit the temperature. Yeah, it's already, as you can see in the screen, it's going down to 106. So this has a bit of overshoot since the how you call it, the display and probably the thermal sensor or thermal probe is not following as fast as it is on the surface of the hot plate. So it goes a bit overshoot, and then it will correct to the correct temperature. So right now it says it's at 200 degrees. We have a 2 degrees difference more or less from the thermal camera. That is normal. Okay, so let's take it to 300 degrees. Okay, no, sorry, going up, and we are almost there. 300 degrees. Okay, now it should be heating up. Let me just show. Right now, heating up to 300 degrees is taking 90 watts. Not bad. This is a PD power supply, 3.1. So it's 4.5 amps, 20 volts, almost 19 watts, 90 watts. Very nice. And we are, well, now this part is a bit more complicated. We have here the red light showing that it's really hot, and it will take a bit more time to get there since it's demanding more energy for reaching this high temperature. Let me see. In terms of the thermal camera, we have already 250 degrees, but let's fast forward this a bit. So the temperature in the display is now 300 degrees Celsius. As you can see, again, we have an overshoot around 10 to 15 degrees Celsius. But after the temperature reaches the 300 degrees in the display, it will correct the hot plate surface and it will bring it to the correct temperature. So yeah, it's not bad. In terms of the temperature difference, we still have 2 degrees, more or less. So I would say, yeah, right now it's getting to the 300 spot on. So I will say this is pretty accurate. Okay, I think we can take this to 350. Yeah, this is the maximum temperature. Let's take it to the 350 just to make sure that we can get there. Let's fast forward again. Okay, we are almost there. You can see here the power that are being used, and we reached 350 degrees. In the thermal camera we have 352. Again, the 2 degrees overshoot or degrees difference that normally has. Right now it is under 350 degrees, so it's oscillating a bit. It still is consuming a bit of power, as you can see here in this scale. And yeah, so 347, 48, still a 2 degrees difference, almost 350 like it is right now. So I think it is spot on. It takes a bit to stabilize the temperature, but after a bit it is really accurate. Okay, in terms of temperature measuring, that's it. Let's continue. Okay, so the hot plate is now cold. We have the green light. I will take this out. Normally I will disconnect the power, but we can do it with the power on. As you can see, we have an option here saying there is nothing connected to the the host, and we will put here the soldering iron. I don't know if you notice it has a light in here that blinked when I put this on. With the soldering iron, the operation is pretty similar. You still have these options. Let's see what we have in info. I don't see much difference, I think. Yeah, basically we have here the module SA80. We have the SA80 has to be with the with the tip that is used. You have the 245 tip also and the 210 available, so you can use another one. This is the SA80, and yeah, that's it in terms of info. The menu also has two slightly difference here. You have the sleep time instead of the overheating temperature. You still have the standby time. And I think that we now have a new option. Let me see, the turbo option instead of the reflow option that was here previously. Okay. There is another option that was removed since we now have only 14 options available instead of 15. And another difference when using this adapter is that you have the heat and you cannot go to the first option, that is the reflow, obviously, because we don't have the reflow option in here. So let's see on the heat. Nothing different. We are still loading with the power indicator. The temperature is rising and it's going to 300 degrees. We got there really fast, 20 volts. You see here the light in this is blinking when you are with the temperature rising or falling, and right now, yeah, it's on a stable phase with this symbol. You still have the red light when it's hot. I will now, it's the same for changing the temperature. Okay, let me just yeah, now it's off, and I will leave this one. And you still have here the alert that the tip is very hot with the red light. It should be faster to be in green, since normally this kind of soldering iron get cold really fast. But in terms of operation with the soldering iron, also that's it. Now for testing the performance of the soldering iron, I brought my power supply. This is a 260 watts power supply with several outputs in USB Type-C and Type-A, but I'm using the PD 3.1 140 watts output for this. I tried to power this with the DC barrel, connecting it directly to my Rigol power supply, but unfortunately the DC barrel that I have, the cable that I have here, will not fit in this adapter, this connector. So I have to power it with the USB Type-C, and I will not be able to show you right now this working, connecting directly with DC barrel. With DC we can go up to 150 watts, so the performance will be totally different of what we have now, but unfortunately I don't have also here spare parts that I can create a cable with this diameter. You can figure out that using DC it will work much better than what you will see right now. Let's put this in it and start heating. Right now it's heating up to, let me see, 300 degrees. It took 11 seconds to get there with the USB Type-C. I believe it was using around 10 watts in there, but I will increase a bit the temperature because these are huge blobs. So let's put this at 350 degrees to see how it handles those large blobs that I have here. Okay, it takes just a few seconds to get there. So yeah, so no problem with these blobs. It melts them instantly. You can see the power here being used. So it's really using the power, and you can see also in here that is using around 10 watts whenever it needs. Okay, this is pretty smooth. Let's see with this cable also. Takes a bit more, but we have it already. Yeah, so it was very fast to work with this. The good parts of using this small device is that it will not take much space in your desk. The only downside that I see here is when we put this on a stand, it will not enter in a standby mode. It will still be increasing the temperature. But other than that, this is perfect. Okay. Instead of the SA80, I will prefer the adapter for the 245 or 210. We can have both. That's the good part of this. But yeah, this works very well. I will decrease the temperature a bit. Let's put it at, I don't even need this. I can use the preset. Let me see. Preset, yeah, 300 degrees. Let's wait a bit for going down to 300 degrees. Okay, and let's see how it handles with 300 degrees the blobs. Okay, no worries about it. Totally fine. It's like butter. Okay, in terms of the soldering iron, pretty satisfied with it. It works like a charm. I will probably buy, because it was not sent to me, the 210 and 245. I really like this. Very small, very useful. Yeah, we don't need more than this. For testing the temperature of the soldering iron, I brought my Sugon S196. This is a special device to measure the temperature of tips, soldering iron tips, and also the temperature for the air gun on the reflow systems. So let's start by putting some solder in here. For that, I will heat to 280. Okay, it's powering up with temperature 3. Let's see which temperatures we have. Well, 280, it's the lowest that we have preset in here. And we will put some solder on the tip. Okay. So right now the temperature says that is 280 and we have 284 on the Sugon, so it's pretty nice. Let's see 300, another preset. Well, on 300 we have, let's see if this is okay, 303, almost spot on, very nice, and 330. Okay, let's see what we have in here, 335. Okay, I will now take the temperature to the maximum. Let's see what it is. Sorry for having the finger in the front, but it's not easy. Okay, for 400 degrees, let's see what is the temperature that we will have. We have an overshoot of 1570 degrees. Okay, not perfect, but yeah, we can live with that. Okay, so let's try again, and 10 degrees, 11. So yeah, still good. Let's try to go to the minimum. This will take a bit to lower the temperature, but let's see, on 180 degrees, what is the temperature we get? 180 degrees is the temperature for the low melting solder temperature. Okay, so it's going down, more or less aligned with the temperature on the screen of the MHP50. Not bad. Okay, this will take a while, so I will move this forward at higher speed and we will catch up. So the MHP says it reached 180 degrees. We have more or less a spot on. Yeah, very nice. On the Sugan, so we have a 180 degrees. Let me make sure that I'm putting this on the right place. Yeah, 2 degrees off, more or less, but it's basically a spot on. Very nice. It took a while to get here, but not too much. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with the precision in terms of the soldering iron. Let's clean this and move on. Well, now is the time to do the thin melt speed test. It is pretty simple. I have a few solder around the tip of the soldering iron. I will start the heat on the soldering station, and let's see how much time it will take to melt the thin. Okay, starting now. Is heating up already at 180. Okay, so you have on the screen the time it takes. That's it, nothing much to talk about. Alright, it's time to wrap things up and give you my final thoughts on the Miniware MHP50 and the SA80 adapter. And since this unit has these two features, this conclusion will be a bit longer, so bear with me. Let's start with the pricing. The hot plate on its own is currently going around 88 euros, which is roughly 95 to 100 US dollars, depending on the exchange rate. If you want to turn it in a complete soldering station, you will need the optional soldering iron adapter, which ranges from 23 to 39 euros, so about 25 to 43 dollars, depending on the tip support you choose. There are adapters that supports a wide variety of tips, including the one I tested, the Miniware SA80, but you have also available the C150, C210 and C245 tip series. That's an excellent compatibility, especially if you already own tips or plan to use different ones for your specific tasks. Now, if you buy the hot plate and the adapter together, you are looking to a total of about 110 euros or roughly 120 to 125 dollars, which is honestly a great deal if you consider that you are getting both a hot plate and a soldering iron station in one small sleek package. One quick tip: it seems by my observations that it's actually cheaper to buy the hot plate and the adapter separately on AliExpress, rather in a bundle, so definitely check that out when shopping around. Now let's talk about the design and build quality. The MHP50 is a big leap forward from the already well-received MHP30. It's not only more powerful but also noticeably better built. One example, in my opinion, is the control buttons on the front. Despite its small size, it feels solid and with great attention to details in the materials and finishes. The footprint is super compact, which is something I personally love. It means it doesn't hog space in your workbench, and you can even travel with it or store it away easily. The heating plate is now 50 by 50 mils, brass ceramic surface or aluminium. Compare with the 30 by 30 mils on the MHP50. That extra area makes a noticeable difference if you are working on slightly larger boards or multiple components at once. The plate is removable and easy to clean, and the unit even includes a silicone cover for protection when not in use. Something that I love in this removable plate system is that if by any chance you damage your plate, you just need to buy a replacement, not needing to buy a new unit again. In terms of power, you have two great options: USB Type-C PD input at 20 volts 100 watts, or a standard DC barrel jack up to 150 watts, which gives you a faster heating. On USB Type-C, it heats from a room temperature to 300 degrees in about 3 to 4 minutes with a strong 65 watts power supply. If you use a higher power supply DC input, it gets there even faster, as little as 150 seconds according to Miniware. It's more than enough for the most reflow tasks and certainly fast enough for everyday bench work. On the functionality side, the MHP really shines. It's got two operating modes, one for direct temperature control and another for multi-stage reflow profiles, which you can configure through the onboard menu. The interface is simple and clear, with a color LCD screen, and it shows you exactly what's happening with both temperature and power levels. One of the things I appreciate is the built-in safety features, like the tilt sensor. If the unit is accidentally tipped behind the default 30 degrees, it cuts off the heat, an excellent layer of safety, especially in busy work environments. You can even configure the degrees it will trigger this protection from the 20 to 50 degrees. It also has a smart fan that automatically adjusts based on the temperature to keep things cool. And there's even a deflector that directs the airflow away from the MHP50 electronics, which is a thoughtful design choice. Now, when you add the soldering adapter into the equation, it transforms the MHP50 in a modular soldering platform. You can easily switch between tip types with additional adapters, making it ideal whether you are soldering delicate SMD components or working on something with larger pads. And just like with Miniware's other soldering gear, the thermal performance is solid and consistent. In real-world use, the MHP50 is especially handy for preheating boards before desoldering, for low-volume reflow, or for reworking small to medium SMD boards. It's not meant to replace a full hot air station, but for what it does it well and quietly, and with a small footprint. So what's the final verdict? If you are looking for a well-built compact hot plate with the added bonus of soldering functionality, the Miniware MHP50 is a fantastic option. The price is right, especially if you consider how much functionality is packed in such a small space, and the performance is solid. Whether you are a hobbyist or a professional working on a smaller electronics, this little powerhouse absolutely earns its spot on the bench. As always, if you are interested in picking one up or just want to support the channel, you can use the affiliate access links in the screen or in the description. It won't cost you anything extra, but it really helps me to keep making these reviews. From my part, I really want to thank the support and sponsorship to all of you that use these links whenever you need to do your purchases on AliExpress or Amazon. Thanks for sticking around until the end, and I hope that this review helped you decide if the MHP50 is the right tool for your bench. If you liked the video, hit that like button, and if you haven't already subscribed, so you won't miss what's coming next. See you soon and take care.